In the heart of Warren, Ohio, a young talent is making waves with his drumming skills, captivating the ears of local music enthusiasts, and most recently, a well-established rock band. Meet Bret Miller, a teenage drummer whose talent has propelled him into the spotlight.
I'm 17 years old, and the only thing I do in my spare time is drum. And drum a little more, maybe drum here and there.
At just 17 years old, Bret has already established himself as an expert on the drums. His journey into music began at a young age, maybe the youngest of ages.
So we had spoken about before how Bret was drumming in the belly. And we had gone to a concert, we went to NXS, and Bret was drumming away. And I turned to Bobby and said, "We have a drummer." So by the time he was 2.5, he did make his own kit out of things from the house. And they included a water bottle, they included a bucket, anything you could get a hold of. And Bret made his own horseshoe. So he has been starting from there at a very, very young age and has just worked really hard to build up to what he is now.
Sometimes it's an emotional journey with him because it happens in the blink of an eye. Here he is, 17 years old. We saw it very, very young. We're talking about a young man who puts in 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day behind the drum kit. Nothing was handed to him. He worked and worked and worked to get to this point. And from his grade school music teacher to his high school music teacher to, his mom, his sister, his friends, we've all heard it. We've encouraged it, we've welcomed it, and it just keeps getting better.
A chance meeting 10 years ago left a lasting impression on a musician named Jimmy Migliozzi.
I was playing with my original band, Love Turns Hate. We were opening for Sebastian Bach at the Harley Davidson in Austintown, Biketown. And I met Bret when he was like 10, and he's walking around with these drumsticks, and I was in my mode, and I walked up and gave him a fist bump. And so almost 10 years later, as we were talking about, we were at Sunrise, and he come up and walked up to me and said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me, but we met at the Sebastian Bach show." And then Bobby, his dad, was showing me some videos of him playing drums like currently at 12 and 14, and I was amazed. The kid was just really, really above his years as far as talent. And I suggested that, he come out to either Up a Creek or one of our outdoor shows, the AMP, and set in with us, and that's how it all started.
Bret's relentless passion and countless hours of practice have paid off in a big way. His impressive skills caught the attention of the Huckin' Philbillies, a local rock band known for their electrifying performances when he sat in with them for just one single song. The search for a new drummer would come to an end right then and there.
I actually was extremely reluctant. I'm embarrassed to say today, and I tell these guys this all the time, because it ended up being one of the greater decisions we've made in these recent years. But he had set in with us on this one night that we had a couple other musicians come out because we were desperately trying to land a full-time guitar player and a full-time drummer. And he had set in with us, and at the end of the night, our sound man come up to me and he said, "My opinion, you go with this Mick Rispoli, our guitar player now," and he goes, "You get the kid as a drummer." And I literally laughed at him. I'm like, "What are you talking about? He's like 16. And he's like, "I'm telling you, you got to get the kid." He goes, "Because when he plays with you, you guys kick it up another level."
Bret's audition left the band members spellbound. His exceptional drumming, coupled with his youthful exuberance, created a perfect synergy with the Huckin' Philbillies. And despite his age, Bret fit right in, even in places where he wouldn't even be allowed in the door.
Bret is quite natural when it comes to being around groups of people. So he's not uncomfortable at all. He's rather protected back there on stage. And we figured we should be there on the journey with all those new experiences first with him, rather than just throw him out into the world and get a shell shock. So we support him based on his maturity and his ability to be able to handle people. And he does it so well and effortlessly that this is very natural for him.
With a smile that could light up even the darkest stage, Bret does what he does best. He's not just a teenager with a dream, he's living it. And as he sits in a place named after another famous Warren, Ohio musician, it's hard not to think about what's in store for this talented and kind young man. Next year, the Foo Fighters know he's coming to their concert. The hope is to get on stage.
Play on stage with him. You know, Dave Grohl's a hometown hero. He's one of my heroes. And being that I'm from Warren, I think that's something, you know.
For now, Bret, at the ripe old age of 17, will continue to be a hero of sorts through the eyes of the people who love him the most.
That's the one word that, proud is an understatement. Yeah. We wish him all the greatness, but he's earned it. So, yep, absolutely.